Jean Claude Udahemuka is a lecturer at the University of Rwanda, which is monitoring the outbreak. Jean Claude, thank you so much for joining us. Is the vaccine effective against this new, more deadly strain of Mpox?
Well, for the moment, there are two vaccines. Like you said, there's that one that is manufactured in Japan, and there's also the one by Bavarian Nordic. These vaccines, they are similar to the ones that used to be applied for smallpox, and that was stopped in the 80s. They generally generate the immune response. Actually, it did for clade 2B, but for this one in Eastern DRC, clade 1B, we hope it will, because the virus has a huge genome, so we hope it will protect. But we need also clinical trials on this. So we need data for a solid ground.
All right, so you're hopeful that the vaccines will help prevent transmission of this new, more deadly strain of Mpox. Meanwhile, from your monitoring, are the proper measures in place to actually contain the strain within the DRC and stop it spreading to other countries?
Yeah, I think the governments in the region have been maybe contacting each other, and also international organizations have been involved. From what I know, there was a WHO meeting with international players from the region that was held in Kinshasa earlier this year, and also there was some other meetings that were held for migration. But also we need more measures. We need more measures, especially at entry points, at borders, to test people who are crossing borders, so that we don't we reduce the risk of the virus or the disease crossing borders.
And it's interesting what we're seeing in South Africa. The strain there is not the most deadly strain, but 3 people have already died. And we're seeing children and people with compromised immune systems are very vulnerable to even the less deadly forms. I suppose the ultimate question and fear is whether Mpox has the potential to become as problematic as COVID did, or have we learnt our lessons?
For the case of South Africa, the deaths that they registered, the government said that they were all from people who were HIV positive, and they were not taking their medications, so their immune system was down, because the strain there is similar to the one that has been circulating in Europe and North America since 2022. So I think what made grave their situations were the comorbidities that they have, which was HIV status, and also not taking ARVs. Coming back to the question whether Mpox has the ability to cause problems like what COVID did, it's too early maybe to say, but it's a disease worth watching, and everyone should be in the game now, not tomorrow.
Yeah, and as you said, more measures are needed. Thank you so much, Jean Claude Udahemuka, lecturer at the University of Rwanda, which of course is monitoring the Mpox outbreak, this deadly strain in the DRC.
Thank you, too.